Hello, welcome to Razmafzar TV. This is Hayden Lewis. Today we're going to do my first video in the Neyze series I'm going to make. So today it's just going to be basic stances, and with stances pretty much guards because they're one and the same. Alright, so we're going to do just from standard thumbs forward grip, although you don't have to grip it like that. That's just to show my hand placement. Find your balance where it feels good. Then just the first guard, middle guard. You want to emphasize deepening your stance, work those legs, get the blood flowing. Here. I like to rest my elbow into my ribs. That way I'm not exerting too much energy just holding it here. I like to keep this hand where my hip level is, or belt level if you're wearing a belt. Here. Here. Doing it left-handed. Same thing. Here. I like to put more weight forward on this leg here. You can change your grip where you want it, right? That's not the point of this. Here. Here. Now, next one, your footing is going to be relatively the same, but your Neyze is going to be in this kind of position here. I prefer thumbs facing in for this one, and with the orientation of your spearhead, your Neyze, you can have it here facing them or edge up. So horizontal or up, depending on what you're going to do. Here. I like to split my head in the middle with the shaft of the spear. Have some form of protection for my face. Here. You can still grab here. I don't prefer that. I prefer this. And you can bring it in tighter, although I like to keep my arm extended for this guard. Other side. Here. So that's the lower guard that you can do. Next one, dangerous one. Probably wouldn't do this one too much in formations, but if you're broken up, you're singled out, here. You come here, put most weight on the back leg, or you could still be front heavy as well. I would suggest back leg heavy, because if you're inviting them in, here, right? That way this one's light, you can move it out of the way. If you're straight, here. Other side. One thing I want to talk about with these stances and guards with your legs. So when you're pronounced, this leg that's straighter, you still want a slight bend in it, but you don't want to lock it out. So slight bend, slight bend. So just be mindful of that. Don't completely lock out the straighter leg in these stances, and that's any weapon. You don't want to lock out your leg. You want to have a slight bend in it, ready to move, and so you don't strain your leg, possibly injure yourself. Alright, so upper guard, I prefer thumbs in grip for this, although this is okay as well. I prefer this grip here. Here. This one, you can kind of have 50-50 for each leg, but like I said, You can change weight distribution here, right? Here. Not so much all the way up, but here. Arms almost out of 45. Here. Here. So you're almost like in a horse stance for that. But like I said, your weight distribution for your legs is going to vary depending on what you're doing, how you feel. There's whole variables, but it's just generally speaking, you're going to be in a horse stance for that high guard. So, all right, so that's just some basic stance. There's more than that, of course. Those are the most basic ones that I recommend you practice, and even just practice just standing in it. You could practice changing guards here, 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 and then switching the other sides here, changing your weight distribution, right? And then when you're practicing those guards and switching sides, that's when you're gonna come into your dexterity training. So if I'm wanting to switch sides, boom, boom. The Neyze, you're gonna be moving the most with your hands. You're gonna be using the most dexterity and placement. So you have to get used to that with the Neyze, or spear. So what I mean by that is if I want to switch stances, right? This is okay, but it's not optimal. So that's when you practice your dexterity. And what I'm doing to make it easy is I'm sliding this hand up where my other hand was, replacing. Boom. Boom. And that's when you could get into your footwork as well. So when you're changing stances here, boom, you can even thrust, change, right? That's another drill you can do, is you can thrust, boom. And I like drills like this a lot. We call it tarikhba, is you're just practicing a single technique, boom, right? Practicing switching hands, thrusting, and stepping into my strike, boom, boom, right? So that's things you can do when you're changing these stances, practicing them. You can add to it, and then once you get a feel for the basics, you'll feel it all just flowing together. So just wanted to show that as a first video into the series. I'll go into different grips, my thoughts on them, and combinations, the whole 9 yards. So you'll see all that.